Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm going to tell you all about my skincare routine. Just so you guys know, this video is probably going to be like super TMI, so if you can't handle TMI, then don't watch this. So the first thing that I do have to mention about my skincare is that I do take a prescribed medication that is supposed to alleviate my hormonal breakouts. So I did have an IUD, I had Paragard, and I noticed that my skin was just starting to break out in like weird places. And at the time I didn't know it was because of Paragard, but eventually I figured it out. I started taking this medication. I will butcher it when I say it. I still don't know how to say it. It's pronounced like Sprionolactone or something like that. And I take 100 milligrams a day, and I could probably do an entire video just on my experience with taking this. I've been on it for over a year now, but I guess I'll just try and put it at the end of this video, so if you do want to see my experience with that medication, you can stick around until the end, so that way I can just go over my skincare to start with. Okay, so the first part of my skincare that I use every single day, and I guess I'll start with like the morning. Yeah, I'll start with the morning. So in the morning, I wash my face in the shower, and to do that, I use CeraVe, I think it's CeraVe or CeraVe, the foaming facial cleanser, and this is for normal to oily skin. And you'll see I use a lot of this stuff. I'm not endorsed by them or anything like that. I have just been using their products for like years, probably like 5+ years, and I've just had great results with it. Once I stopped using like all the fragrance filled, like fruity smelling, acid, like toners, like harsh stuff on my face, I noticed my skin improved a lot. So my dermatologist, I've had 2 different dermatologists, and they've both recommended this brand to me, and it's been working out great. I also did a full blog post on it. I'll put the link below, but I had a lot of family members and friends switch to it, and they're loving it too. It comes in a pump. They did just change the packaging, but this stuff works really, really, really great. I feel like it gets inside my pores, cleans out all like whatever makeup I might have left in there. And it does get like a really nice, thick, rich lather, so this would be good for really oily skin, but I just use it because I wear like a shitload of makeup and I need to get it off, so that's why I use this one. They also have another one that's called Hydrating. It kind of feels like you're washing your face with moisturizer, but if you have really, really dry skin, I do recommend you use the other one. This medication has also switched my skin. I used to have like really oily skin. I'd have to blot all day long, like my nose would be like crazy, and now I do not have oily skin anymore, so that is what's really cool about it, but I do have kind of dry skin. I'm sweating so bad right now. I don't know what's going on. You guys are making me nervous. Okay, and in the morning when I wash my face, I use one of these, and these are facial buffing sponges from Target, and these cost, I think it's like $2.50, and it comes with 12 sponges. So these are like little buffer pads, and these are, I just noticed they're like really good little like exfoliators, and I go through like a few of these a week, but I just use these for like a couple uses, and I just feel like I get a really good exfoliation out of it, and it always pulls off makeup. So I like that. It's inexpensive, and yeah. So these are at Target. They're like on the back wall with all the eyelashes and stuff like that. I do have a Clarisonic Plus, but I don't use it. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. My friend gave it to me because she didn't want it anymore. And this is her brush that's on here. I actually don't even know if this has been used. Yeah, it has. And I don't want to buy a replacement brush because it's like $30 or $40, and I just can't get myself to do it. I know I should, so I think I will now. I'm going to commit to you guys over here that I will buy a replacement head brush and try this out and see if it's worth it. I know a lot of people say once they start using it, they will not switch back to anything else. So I'll have to give it a try, but just let me know if you guys love this or if it's like stupid. Okay, and for my moisturizer, I use CeraVe, of course, the moisturizing lotion. It's for normal to dry skin. This is like, I will probably not find a better moisturizer than this. I am going to try the MAC charged water one, so maybe, I don't know. But this one is awesome. It's fragrance free, just like all this stuff, and I can't stand anything that smells on my face. It does not have an SPF in it, but my makeup usually has like a 15 or something like that in it. So I don't need an SPF in my moisturizer, but this stuff is awesome. Like my skin just soaks it right up. It's not greasy throughout the day. I can put it on underneath makeup and I don't have to worry about anything going on. Nothing moves. It's perfect. It's like the perfect moisturizer. And this is only like, by the way, all this stuff is like from CeraVe is between like $12 and $16. So yeah. I do have one eye cream, and this is the CeraVe Eye Repair Cream. I bought it just because I love everything that they have, and I figured I would really like it. The only thing with this, I don't have puffy eyes. I do have like semi-dark circles, but it's nothing like crazy. So I don't know, I'm trying to do like preventative care with my eyes and see if that helps, but this stuff is just like, I don't know, it feels nice. It doesn't really have like much of a cooling effect or anything. So I'm kind of like indifferent about this one, if that makes any sense. I don't know if it really does anything. I think a lot of people like it. I'm just going to keep using it because I have it, but if you don't have any like eye situations, it's probably not necessary, so I don't know. Okay, and I do have an eye cream, and obvi, it's the CeraVe, I don't know how to say it, CeraVe moisturizing cream, and this is for normal to dry skin, and this is literally like a bucket of cream. It's 16 ounces, and I think this cost me like $16, and I've had it for over a year. What I do with this is I take a scoop out and I put it in like a little sample jar, kind of like something like this. I'll put it in like a thing like this and use it out of that. So that way I don't like super contaminate this thing because it's so much. But it's just like a really heavy duty, and I don't know if you could see it, but it's just like a really nice buttery cream. And this one is much more heavy duty than the moisturizer, but it doesn't leave like that oily feeling or like heavy duty feeling on your face. So that's what I really like about it. I told you my medication does give me some drier areas on my skin. So what I do with this stuff, like at night, I'll put it on my forehead because I tend to get a little bit dry around there. And then I also put it all around my eyes because my eyelids tend to get kind of dry with like all the rubbing and blending and everything that I do on there. So I put the cream on my eyes at night, and I wake up in the morning and it just feels like supple and delicious and incredible. So this stuff is really cool. If you have dry skin, you can actually use this obviously anywhere on your body, but if you have dry skin, I bet you could even wear this under your makeup in the morning and it wouldn't be like greasy or anything like that. So love this stuff. Okay, so I keep it pretty simple with like just my regular, you know, skincare, but for nighttime when I take off my makeup, because as you can tell, I wear a lot of makeup. That's just the way that I like it. And at night, I have to take it off. So I have tried so many different brands of like makeup wipes from Target, like Neutrogena, and I can't think of any other brands right now. But they're either too oily, like I feel like I have like a layer of grease on my face, or they're just like really, really dry and I feel like I'm using an SOS pad on my face. So I haven't found any that I like there. I know a lot of people like the MAC makeup wipes, but those are also a little too oily to put on my face. So I don't like doing that either. I don't use any makeup remover because I hate that oily feeling. Like, ugh, if you don't get it, I just don't like that feeling. So I use these. And these are the Kirkland brand, Kirkland Signature Makeup or Daily Facial Towelettes. And if you don't know, Kirkland Signature is the Costco brand. I get it in a box like this. So it has 150 pre-moistened towelettes. It has 4 30-count reclosable flip-top lid packs, which is the one I just showed you. And then it has 2 15-count travel packs, and those reseal. I'll show you. So it has these ones, and these are resealable on the top. And these are my favorite. My sister-in-law she introduced them to me, and I've been using them for like years now. I think this whole box only costs like $11, and when I go to Costco, I'll buy like 2 of them. And I think I go through like 2 of them a year. But they take off all my makeup, everything except for my like Inglot gel liner because it's waterproof. I just have to scrub a little bit harder, but it still comes off, and they don't leave my face stinky. They don't make them feeling greasy. They are just like the best makeup remover wipes. Like, I hope they sell these forever because they are the best. But yeah, anyway, that wraps up my skincare video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. I never blamed my breakouts on my IUD. I always just thought maybe it's because I wasn't taking the pill anymore. So I had that for 2 years, and about 6 months before my wedding, I noticed that like my skin wasn't really clearing up and I was kind of freaking out. So my doctor prescribed me this stuff right here. But I take 100 milligrams of this a day, and it looks like this. It's just like a little white Altoid looking pill. And it's not meant for skin, but I guess it's like a blood pressure medication or a blood, I don't know. What it's supposed to do is stop the oil production, like some type of oil production in your face, like the glands or something like that, and it's supposed to get rid of like hormonal breakouts. So I started taking it, and it is a diuretic, so I had to go to the bathroom like 1,000 times a day, and every day that I was at work, I would get like one of like a giant water bottle, like a Smart Water that big, and I think I would drink like 10 of those just when I was at work, which I know you're supposed to drink a lot of water, but it was like a lot of water. I was always had like cotton mouth. I always needed to drink water. And then I guess it had an effect on my appetite too, because I kind of lost my appetite. So from the time I started it until about 3 months later, I lost almost 20 pounds, which I think for a lot of people would be like a really, really positive side effect. But for me, I was getting ready for my wedding and I had just purchased my wedding dress. And by the time my wedding dress arrived, like 3 months later, I went to my fitting and my dress, when I put it on, and I'll see if I can show you a picture, but I put on my dress and it fell completely straight off and it was terrifying. I was not trying to lose weight. I've always been soft and like kind of chubby, but I've always been okay with it. But it wasn't like the healthy kind of weight loss where I was like working out and eating the right foods and getting toned up. I was just like losing weight, like my boobs deflated like 2 cup sizes. But yeah, my skin cleared up. So I guess that's a good thing about it. But I mean, this medication, just like any other medication, has its ups and downs. Like, you definitely need to discuss it with your doctor to see if it's right for you. I do not recommend using it for a weight loss supplement or medication because that's not what it's meant for. But it's worked for me. The only thing I did notice about it is it gave me like a lot of clogged pores. I never really had clogged pores before. This medication has worked for me. I would recommend it to other people if you're suffering from like hormonal breakouts and stuff like that. But I'm on my last like 2 months right now. I'll probably stop taking it after this because I'm back on my birth control pill. I don't have an IUD anymore and I'm feeling much more like normal. That, and I don't have health insurance anymore, so it's not really an option.